Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Van Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Huh? So come get some. CromCon. CromCon.
If you're a fan of comic books and comic book conventions, Daytona Beach Comic Con needs to be on your list of must-attend events. It's a show that actually focuses on comic books. Imagine that! This year's event is happening on Saturday, September the 6th, and Sunday, September the 7th. Silverline creators will be there, so we'll see you at the show. There's a new convention in town, and it's sure to be mega fun without the mega expense. Comics, toys, collectibles, pop culture. ShadowCon, Saturday, February 1st, 2025 in Orlando, Florida. Silverline creators will be there, so we'll see you at the show. If you find yourself in the Orlando area, and let's be honest, doesn't everyone come to Orlando for the House of Mouse? Head over to Coliseum of Comics to get your comic book fix. Be sure to check out their location on East Colonial Drive, where they carry a wide selection of independent comics, including Silverline books. Stop by and don't forget to tell them Silverline sent you. Hey, if you're an independent comic creator looking to get your comic printed, look no further than Kablam Digital Printing. They print our comics and do a fantastic job. They can even print special edition covers. When you reach out to them, be sure to tell them Silverline sent you.
Hi, this is Tim TK, host of That Silverline Show on Tuesday. Join us at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific every Tuesday night as we discuss pop culture and the joys of making comics.
Hi, I'm Barb Kilber, co-host of Silverline's Wednesday Wham. Join us each Wednesday nights as we discuss comics, literature, movies, and anything else that may catch our attention.
I'm Roland Mann, and I host Silverline's Silver Sunday. Join me every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern as we make mine Silverline. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's 2025. This is our first stream of the year. Welcome to Silverline Silver Sunday. I am your host. I am Roland Mann, and here's what's weird. I can see Roberta over on, I have it up on Facebook just to make sure it's there. I can see Roberta there, but I cannot see her here on StreamYard. So I'll start with Roberta.
I'm here.
Yeah. Say hi, Roberta.
Welcome. Yep. Hello. I'm here.
Ms. Roberta Conroy is our colorist supreme. You gonna color anything for us tonight? I gotta look over there to see your reaction.
I would say if you'd like me to color, I will color.
Absolutely.
Yep. I've got stuff to work on for you from Cat and Mouse Vipers.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yep.
And we are also joined by that man in the mask guy, Mr. Mike W. Belcher. Say hi, Mike.
Howdy, everyone on this Sunday afternoon, evening, depending on where you're at.
I hear it's cold up your way.
It's dang cold and dang icy, and it can go away anytime soon.
Well,
it could. It would be great.
As one south of you and in Florida, let me just say, keep it up there, please.
I think you're going to have a little taste of some of this cold this week.
Problem with weather is it moves.
I know, right?
Yes. Yeah, it can't make up its mind where it wants to be.
No.
And we're also joined by Baby New Year himself, Mr. Tom Mason.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the weather show.
Can y'all believe the weather show? Can y'all believe it's actually 2025?
No. I'm still writing 2016 on my checks because that's when I last wrote a check.
Right. 20 what?
2016.
16. You know, I remember back in high school which would have been, 1980s. I remember thinking about 2025 and thinking, man, that's so far in the future.
I can tell you what a visionary I am. I took a class in high school where the teacher said, eventually we're going to be doing away with cash and checks, and it's all just going to be on cards, and we'll just have our money. We won't even see money anymore. We'll just, tap our little card or whatever. And I laughed and laughed and laughed, and that was hysterical because there was nothing more I loved than having a pocket full of cash and coins or whatever.
Right.
And I'm totally wrong. I haven't held a bill in my hand in like 10 years.
Oh wow! Well, there's.
But you could if you wanted to.
I could if I wanted to. It's right. If I wanted to touch money, I could go out and.
Yeah. Do you touch grass though? That's the question.
No, I'm a child of 2025. I don't touch grass.
So you know that, right? Touch grass.
Well, isn't that what the kids who are on YouTube 24 hours a day always say, that they got to get out and touch grass?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of an insult.
Yeah.
It's kind of an insult. Like, hey, you're not living in the real world. Touch grass.
Okay. So then this is the kind of thing where if Steve Gerber was alive now, he'd be creating a character called the Grass Toucher, or
right. Yeah. Only the grass toucher would have duplicate meanings, right? Multiple kind of, because grass to us from the 1970s means something completely different.
And we would say, "Hey, Steve, isn't that a reference about marijuana?" And Steve would argue, "That is not. It's about touching grass. It's what the kids are doing." Yeah, but Steve, no, it's not that at all. And then he'd stop talking to me for like a month.
Yeah, and he'd call Dan and then say, "Dan, here's what I need. Tell Tom."
Walk over to Tom's office and tell him that I need him to send me
this. Which reminds me of the time that. What's his name? Chekhov.
Chekhov.
Walter Koenig.
Walter Koenig
fired me, right?
Yeah.
I still remember Hank being so mad. He would walk over with this note, right? It's on a notepad. I don't have a notepad handy right here. You'd think I would have one. Oh, yeah. About like this, right? About like this kind of notepad. He'd walk over and it'd be full of notes. He'd walk over and go, Roland, Walter wants you to do this. And I would say, "No, Hank, Walter wants you to do this. He fired me."
That's why.
Good times.
I would do it because Chris made me.
Should I tell the Steve Gerber story for context, or should we just let it hang there?
No, go right. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I think it'd be a good one. I think many of our viewers would appreciate a Steve Gerber story.
So you have to know the 70s references, but so you'll have to go look them up on the Wikipedia. But I was with Steve Gerber at the first Ultraverse conference in Scottsdale, Arizona, back in '92, I think it was. And one of the things that I'd always suspected was that a character that Gerber had created for Howard the Duck was called Dr. Bong. And he had a bell for a head. So every time he shook his head back and forth, he go bong, bong, bong. That was his thing. And I thought, okay, that's great. But also bong has a secondary meaning, which is it's the vape of the 60s and 70s. Right. And so I cornered Gerber and I said, "Come on, Steve, you can tell me. Dr. Bong, that's really a drug reference that you tried to sneak past the code." And Gerber got furious. He said he'd never heard of the bong thing when he created
No way.
Dr. Bong. He said it wasn't a thing at all. He thought it was just like a clever thing. The guy has a bell for a head. Ha ha ha.
He's sticking to it, huh?
He wasn't only sticking to it, and I wasn't going to let it go because Roland can tell you that I will not let these things go. When I think I've got something, and I kept hammering at him all evening, and finally he just shut me down by cutting me off. He would not talk to me for like 2 days.
Oh no, that's a good story.
I do not believe for a minute that he had no idea what a bong was.
Right? I mean,
no.
How could you miss all that?
You've met Gerber. You've talked to Gerber. You've read his work. How could he not know?
Yeah.
He's not. It's like if somebody came up to me right now and said, "Tom, what is vaping?"
Right.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if it was someone 20 years younger than us.
Right. That's right.
David A. Gutierrez, Happy New Year to you. He says Roland was fired by Koenig. Was this Raver? This was indeed Raver.
But you were still, you were fired by him, but you were still editing the book in secret, right?
Yes, that's
That's the beauty of it.
He fired me, and of course, I still remember Chris on walking over to me, going, "Roland, what did you do, Walter?" And I was just, Chris, I didn't do anything. I was editing him. He goes, "Well, now he's mad and wants you fired." He said, so here's what we're going to do. He said, Hank is going to take his phone calls. And as far as Walter is concerned, Hank is his editor. Hank is going to take the notes. He's going to deliver them to you. And then you're going to do them. And you're not going to tell Walter. You're not to communicate with him. I said, well, what about Dan and David Day? Yeah, you can talk with them still, just not Walter.
The thing is, over the years, we've dealt with a lot of creators who have varying personalities.
Yes.
Some of them are great guys. Some of them are difficult guys. Some of them are, sort of one note, sort of visionary type of guys, and some of them are mentally ill.
Right.
And we've dealt with all of them. But I never actually got fired by a creator before. It's kind of a badge of honor.
I think I remember saying, Walter, you can't fire me. I'm employed by the company. But man, he was hot. Did I ever tell you, did I ever mention that I actually saw him at a show? I don't know, probably, we lost Mike. The snow and ice finally got him.
He's sick of talking about Star Trek.
Yeah. It was, I don't know, probably 18, 19, something like that, 17 maybe. And it was at a dead show. I mean, there was like nobody there. And so I'm walking. Dead? No. Not out.
Sorry.
Not that kind of dead show.
Sorry.
It was in Nashville. And so I'm walking around looking at the booths and the comic creators and all that kind of stuff. I noticed Walter sitting there, nobody there. Now, that's not a point. There was nobody at the show, okay?
Right.
So that's not saying
everybody had nobody there.
Right, exactly. That's why I was walking around. But I saw him there, and I'm like, do I or do I not? So I walk up to him and I say, hey, Walter, my name's Roland Mann. I used to work with you. He goes, oh, you're that editor I fired.
Wow, he remembered.
That's awesome.
He was incredibly nice to me though, because he goes, well, I'll give it to you. He goes, you got a lot of balls to come up and talk to me. He goes, I'll give it to you. How you doing? And he was nice after that.
What's
he gonna do, right?
I just like that he fired you like you were the PA on the set. It's like my coffee's cold. Get out.
David says that's like Bukowski saying he didn't know about booze.
Right. It's like,
yeah. So anyway, yeah, big fun. I still can't see Roberta on the screen. I do see that
really?
I do see
I see her fine. I see everybody fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crystal clear.
I think I set everything up enough, so I'll share.
Well, and down below in the backstage, which you guys can't see, her screen is white. So
white.
That's the winter.
Now
weather.
that's even weirder.
It is, isn't it?
Why would it be white?
I'll take a screenshot. Oh, you know what? Actually, I think I can. Let me just share my screen so I can show you guys.
What's wrong with me?
That share screen.
I think it's Roland. Roland's not on the Mac.
I think it doesn't like me anymore.
Let's see.
He's just not saying.
Page. Ooh, you see? Look.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm missing.
Yeah,
look at that.
And down below, you can see it's
here. I am.
There.
Yeah,
you've been redacted.
That's really weird.
So
well, I hope that I can share my screen. I'm not sure.
But I know you're there because I see you over on Facebook.
Well, at least you got that.
And I'm guessing. Let me see, where's everybody coming from? So we got folks from Facebook. We got folks from Twitter. So thank you all for joining us. Wherever you are, please remember to give us a thumbs up, give us a like, give us a follow, and share it out. Share it out to folks.
Yeah, because we'll be
Go
talking
ahead.
about comics anytime soon.
That's
So
right.
yes, no, maybe.
That I can see that beautifully.
I can see
Oh,
that.
good.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Phew.
Thanks.
And
Right then.
that is a fantastic page. What are we
It's
looking
a
at
splash
here?
page, so I thought it'd be a good one to work
Yeah,
on.
it is.
Nice.
This is the snake people, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have hands and they've got muscles like arms.
I like that.
Yeah.
And who's the artist?
So who's you want to count the penciler or?
Yeah, who's the penciler? Who's inker?
So that is Miguel, correct?
No, this is Angelo.
No, wait a minute. It's Angelo. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yes,
okay.
I remembered it wrong once, and now I will never live it down because my brain goes there first.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's
Angelo.
Angelo Concepcion.
He is
Or
he is
Concepcion.
doing such an amazing job too.
Yeah, he really is.
Lots of energy.
Yep.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. And
The expressions are great too.
yes.
Well, especially because once you put the masks on their face, all you have are eyes.
Yes.
So you've got you have less to play with.
You've got to work on those expressive eyebrows, right?
That's right. That's right. You get that
Because there's
YouTube
not much
Levy
there
thing
with the mouth and gone. Then you just have to kind of think about it.
Yeah.
I love this little kid in the bottom.
Oh yeah.
His eyes are all wide.
So and I made things even more difficult for Roberta. You can ask her because each of the snakes are different. It's a different snake based on a regional snake.
Yeah, thanks for the link to the wildlife channel. I was like, great.
I sent her links to the list of snakes so she could see the appropriate colors and everything. Right?
Yeah,
Here's
there's a lot of colors in racers, by the way. They're not
Oh, I
just-
know. Yeah, they're beautiful snakes.
Favorite color of snake reveals your personality, says scientific study.
Yeah. So they're all going to be a little different. And that obviously that's partly for so to help the readers know the difference between the snakes. You don't just want to have a whole, but they're called vipers. The whole collection of them are called the vipers.
And they ride motorcycles.
Well, the funny thing is, shh, don't tell anyone. Actually, only 4 of them are vipers. The rest of them are just snakes, right?
Well, it's a hierarchy. You got to rise up in the organization before
It
you're a viper.
is.
You got to kill a guy in prison before you get to be a viper.
Yeah.
That's when you get the tattoo, right?
That's right. You get the tattoo.
So we are the tentative plans for this are to kickstart this in about a month.
Very soon. Yeah.
Crowdfund this. So.
Awesome.
And we'll have this wrapped up soon. Yeah.
Yeah. So anxious, excited to get that out there. Angelo is a recent, I don't know the exact year, but he's a recent graduate of the Kubert School. And of course, Jose, the inker, is over on our Tuesday show. So you guys should know who that is.
So
and tell him I'm sorry I forgot his name.
That's okay. I thought Roland would jump in because he's.
Me too.
Well,
I wasn't trying to put you on the spot. I thought our publisher would actually come up and go, "Hey, you know what? I know who that guy is."
I feel ashamed now because I was kind of waiting to see if Roberta.
Well, you know what? I remember it when I'm not coloring, but when I'm coloring, I have a different ability to recollect.
I believe I've asked 3 times and gotten the name 3 times, and I can't remember because I'm terrible at it. So
well,
the easiest way for me to forget something is have somebody tell it to me.
So, but here's the thing: I will at least say, at least Roberta reads the stories. Tommy's not here, so he can't defend himself. But Tommy doesn't even read them.
Well,
I used to work on a show with a bunch of voice actors, and we do the recordings once a week. And they wouldn't read the script before they came in. We get the script to them like a week in advance.
Really?
And we'd come in and they hadn't read it. So they just come in and read it and do it cold. And in their defense, they were great.
Yeah.
Because they're like spot on professionals, so they didn't really need to read it cold. And sometimes I thought originally I thought, well, this doesn't make any sense. You should do your homework before you come in. And then I realized, no, when they read it cold, they're bringing stuff to the material that wasn't necessarily what we were seeing, but was better.
It's instinct, right?
It's instinct. They were operating on pure, it's like adrenaline and instinct and just like whatever happens to pop in their head, so they're not overthinking it.
Yeah.
So I thought that approach was even better.
Yeah, I
So-
applaud not overthinking.
Right, because
Yeah.
you can get especially if you're a creative person in almost any field, you can overthink it to the point where you freeze
Yeah.
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
you stiffen. And I think that's. I remember there's a story. Here we'll get off track now. There's a story about Kelsey Grammer when he was on the original version of Frasier, where he had a lot of other problems as well, but he would refuse to rehearse. So everybody would come in, they would rehearse, they would get all their positions down, they would get all the direction down. Then he would come in and basically do it live like it was a play to keep himself more spontaneous. And if you watch it, you can sort of see the way he kind of stumbles over a word or stumbles over a phrase because he's doing it live for the first time. He's not rehearsed it.
Wow.
And he
That's
felt
cool.
that he got a funnier, raw, more theatrical performance out of it. And I don't think I can disagree.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's got to be hell to work for a guy like that though, because you're
Yeah.
you're there
I would
blocking
think
out your
so.
scene.
I would think it'd be very frustrating.
Yeah.
Because you want them to know. I mean, part of it is you think, for me, you think, okay, well, I need my actor to know what's going on so that they can put the appropriate, intonation and inflection and emotion, that kind of thing.
Also, I always think that stuff like that is a team effort.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
it
what I was
seems-
gonna say.
It seems like one guy's not part of the team. It's like
Right.
It feels like everyone else has to do a different amount of work or a different type.
like he gets to benefit from doing that because everybody else has already put in the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but
that's
everybody's
almost
making millions of
unfortunate.
dollars, so I can't,
Sorry. Mike's left us again here.
Mike,
See, this is
is
why
it
I hate,
the ice storm that he was
said,
talking
well,
about?
that's what I've just asked him. He says just StreamYard keeps crashing on him.
it's got to be the weather. It's one of the reasons I hate weather.
Hyper! Happy New Year to you. Hyper Potato says like and subscribe, kids. Thank you,
Mhm.
Hyper. We know we can always depend on you for that. And you should listen to Hyper because Hyper knows stuff. I can vouch for that. So if you have not liked, if you have not subscribed, you should go do it now. David Rios, what's up, David? David is another one of our exceptional colorists. He's on our Tuesday show, and he says, I can attest to overthinking and freezing.
Yeah.
Mhm. I think most artists can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's that weird fine line where you want to prepare so that you know what's going on, but you don't want to overthink it so much that you've over prepared and now you're frozen because you don't know
Yes.
you don't know what the approach is. It takes time to sort of sort all that out.
Well, David,
Yeah, and every artist is different, but I know a lot of times it's kind of like an internal instinct more than a conscious thought.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
you can kind of prepare if you've already did the thinking earlier, like you kind of maybe roughed something out. But if you don't, you can use your instincts
Yeah.
and create on the spot. And a lot of people do that. And so preparing is scary.
Yeah.
Because I know some artists. I'll name drop now. I used to hang out a tiny bit with Gil Kane, and he would do like an hour of warm up sketches a day, just to get his hand warmed up. And so by the time he was ready to tackle a real page and do the real work, his brain was already working with his hand. So they were already in sync. So he never got to the blank page cold.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It just to me, it's for me, it sounds like, why don't you just, you're drawing, go ahead and start on that thing that what's this warming up?
Right.
Yeah.
It is a physical thing.
But I do it too sometimes to get when I'm working on a script or something. I'll write a bunch of emails, or I'll write a bunch of snotty stuff on Facebook, or I'll write I'll write a long text to one of my friends just to get my fingers working and my brain connected to words again.
I actually have a journal that I do that.
There, see,
Yep.
same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I just don't think of it as warming up. I sort of think of it as procrastinating until I'm ready.
Getting my brain in gear.
Get my brain in gear.
Yeah.
Waiting for the coffee I don't drink to kick in.
So David may remember this. He and so I'm going to vouch for his overthinking and freezing. I don't know about the freezing as much, but the overthinking. He, as you guys know, he's putting color to the Demon's Tales. It was drawn by pencil by Paul Pelletier and inked by, of course, Thomas Formanti. It's looking great. It's looking fantastic. Well, he sent me a page, and then he sent me the same page, and he goes, I don't know, Roland. I'm thinking about I should do this instead of doing this. Which do you think is better? And I'm looking at him, and I'm going,
I know you can't tell.
I know. I'm like, what's the difference? What did you do different? It's like I don't. And then he went into this really long explanation explaining it to me, and I get it, but I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't care.
That's funny.
Well, that's the thing too. Is sometimes when I was working on a book, and I'd want to give color notes, but I don't want to be extensive. I just want to say like nighttime,
right,
or sunset, or whatever, because I want to see what the colorist, how they interpret that, because that's what I want the colorist to bring to it. It's like what I don't want to say. Well, I want 20% here, and I want 30% here, and I want 50% here. I don't, because the colorist doesn't want to hear that.
I wouldn't like that,
and I don't want to do that. So
I'd be like, okay, you want to paint by number?
Right. Yeah, no, I want you hired because the colorist is an artist in and of themselves.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like I've learned. Sorry, I'll keep going. I've learned also about balloon placement. I used to do balloon placement for the letterer, and it's like the letterer probably has a better idea for this than I do.
Mm-hmm.
I would only want the letterer to call me if I wrote him into a corner and they got stuck. I'd rather have the letterer figure it out and be creative.
Yeah.
Anyway, end of my rant.
Good rant.
Shoot, I was going to say something, but what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. One of the things I learned just not too long ago with Roberta is that what you do need to do, though, is if you have flaming embers coming along out of a building, you need to identify whether that's snow or whether that's flaming embers.
Yeah,
well,
that's a legitimate
that could
question.
be in the script. That's pretty.
Yeah.
That would be a good use of the script at that point to say, hey, here's the thing that's happening.
Roberta made me go back, and
that was
she
the
said,
worst mishap, because I was getting all into how I rendered it, and it was really funny.
And it was beautiful. But Roberta said,
it was
hey, Roland, I need to know all of your. So I had to go back in my script, and because I hadn't done it in many places. Time of day.
Oh yeah.
And it was just Roberta's like, hey, I need to know that. Would you go send me an update for all the script? Yeah, I'll do that.
Well, you'll notice
so much.
I don't think you've read it yet, Roland, but in the script that I sent you before the weekend, I put in the time of day at the start of each scene.
Yeah.
Not as a caption, but just underneath the page number so that people know, because the thing that I wrote all takes place in one day, but it's broken up morning, lunchtime, afternoon, sunset, nighttime.
And shadows matter to artists because at noontime, right, the sun is right above you, so the shadows are going to be really small. Right. But in the morning, they're going to be long one direction, and in the evening they're going to be long the other direction. So
and at nighttime you got to add lighting.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Madness Comics Network says, "Hey, yo, what's up, Pops?" And Pops says, "Happy New Year." Thank you, Pops. We think 2025 is going to be a great one for the Madness Comic Network, and we're excited to be part of it.
Good.
Hyper says, I'm having trouble getting my Bring It in gear. I think my transmission is shot. I think we can all feel you there. David Rios says, Warren Lou does faces and eyes just to warm up before he works.
Yeah,
I like that idea too.
I like that idea too, because it's not the whole figure; it's just the just expressions, getting it all.
Yeah. So, Mike, what's in store for Man in the Mask in 2025? What kind of things do you hope to accomplish?
I hope to finish the miniseries that I'm currently doing. I going into 2025, I've got 3 issues done. Presenting number 3 right now on my newsletter, the Militant Gazette.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which I'm subscribed to, by the way, folks. And if y'all are not subscribed, you need to make sure you subscribe as well.
Definitely.
It's free.
More the merrier. But yeah, I'm hoping after 3, I've got 3 more issues, and then I'll be done with that. And I'm trying to go from there to maybe back to the regular series. So So that's the hope.
That's the hope.
So
your
that's the
plan is to finish three new issues this year.
Well, I did. I did 3 issues last year. Actually, 3.5 last year.
That's great.
And I was pretty happy about that with output. And hopefully this year I can maybe do a little bit more with trying to get my schedule a little bit more lined out. But I think I've got a pretty good schedule for the newsletter as far as releasing new material twice a week.
Yep.
And like I said, hopefully the Emerging from the Shadow storyline I can finish hopefully by summer. That's fingers crossed there.
Yeah.
But as far as that, I feel like that will put me pretty much where I want to be as far as letting new readers in on, from day one to current times, what they may have been missing with a little more context. And like I said, once I go back into the regular series, I've got a few little plans I want to do. But
cool.
But as far as the newsletters, where pretty much you want to see anything Man in the Mask, that's where it's at. And I keep hoping that I could get a little more extra time. I could do other stuff for the newsletter.
Yeah, I feel you.
I try to sneak in reviews every now and then just to have a little kind of break in the action that kind of make it feel like a little bit more of a news source. So that's the hope. But as far as and who knows, maybe other things might develop for Man in the Mask this year. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. I still have my own notes over here, that conversation that you and I had. Look at that. We're joined by Mr. Thomas Flormonti. I can't read the under. What does that say?
What a year it's been.
What a year it's been. What's up, Tommy?
Howdy do. Howdy do.
Happy New Year to you.
Happy 5th.
Yeah. It seems like last year since we talked last.
It's I told you I'd see you next year.
You did. Yeah.
Well, and he kept his word, so he's done.
I did.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, not only was it last year that we last talked, but I think you're a year older now.
You are cruel.
He is.
Nope. I am now 25 years old.
Cool.
I'm telling you.
I guess you haven't been bike riding in the new year with Roland.
No.
Hey,
he would shove me to the Gators.
That's what I was thinking.
No, I did go riding on the 1st. Yeah, I went on New Year's Day. I went by.
Uh-oh.
Now he's frozen.
What happened?
Now he's freezing. Oh, there he is. Looks like Max Headroom.
It looks.
I know, that's what I was trying to do.
Looks like we're getting every other frame.
It's because he's got.
No, I did go riding on the 1st, is what I was trying to say.
Where'd you go?
Just the Markham Woods.
Yeah. Fun place.
Yeah, that was the beginning of my troubled week.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we'll talk about it off the air. Doesn't have to consume airtime.
Well, we've talked about all kinds of stuff today.
We already told stories about Walter Koenig and Steve Gerber.
You're still in Florida, right? You're back home. Didn't go anywhere else.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Can't you tell by the background?
Yeah, the fireworks look like Florida fireworks. Yeah,
they do.
Disney fireworks. Exactly.
Oh, okay. Well, tell me since you're just jumping in, what about you? What big plans do you have for 2025? What are some of the things that you're hoping to happen this year?
All kind of projects. One of them you'll be really happy about. I spoke to Mr. Pete. I think we're going to start getting pages pretty soon here.
I'd love to hear that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, he let me know that he had one other something another to get done in the next couple of days, next couple of weeks, and then in February he's going to start on issue 5 of the team up book. 4. I don't know. I'm tired. It's been a day.
3.
I'll tell y'all afterwards.
I would think it's 3 because the last one we did was 2.
It is, Roberto. Hey, Roberto, remember what I said before he came on? I said he doesn't read them. He doesn't know.
Right.
Yeah, issue 3 of the team up book, and then I'm working with Tom on another team up book. Whenever we start getting the pencils for that,
Yep.
and then I'm trying to finish up my my Mystery Girls issue number 5 for the Pensacola Con. I want to try to have that done.
Cool. You want to collect it? Will it be a collected volume for Pensacon?
Probably on that show, I'll just bring issue 5. Maybe I'll print a trade to see if anybody wants to see it. But by the next time for sure. But I've got a bunch of people that bought everything but 5 since it's been around for a while. So
you want to push the floppy before you carry the trade?
Well,
this year, trade
no. As soon as I'm certain, what I may do, like what you do sometimes. I may bring just some extra issues of and keep them behind the thing, but just push the trade. But I have a lot of people that bought issues 1 through 4.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna screw them over by making them buy the trade to see how it ends.
Right.
So, So I need to make issue 5 available.
Well, so what about where you might not know, but my next question, of course, is any Zomboy for 2025 planned?
There needs to be.
There
really needs to be. Somebody was trying to come in the door. I've got the first 4 or 5 books plotted out, so I need to get more of that this year, because I've got so many people at shows that are like, where's the Kid Hero stuff? Where's your Kid Hero stuff? And I'm like, well, how about this Silverline book? And they go, yeah, here, I'll buy that, but where's Zomboy number 2? And I'm like, okay,
it's good to hear.
Yeah, you got to play to your audience, man.
Yeah, I know for sure. And then Tom and I got some little secret things going on in the background. We let people know.
We've had a busy New Year's texting week.
Plotting and planning. We already had a secret thing going on that we're working on, and now we got a new secret thing that we're working on.
We do.
You got the NDAs going.
That's right. Yeah, we can't even talk about it. It's
the great thing is when you get a text from Tommy, he goes, "I've been thinking about this," and then I'll text him back, Well, that's great. What if we could do this? And then Tommy goes, "Yeah, and we could do this." And then I say, "Well, and it goes back and forth for like 20 texts in like half an hour, and before you know it, we've committed to something."
Yeah, like, what did we say we were going to do? And then Tom goes, "What about the thing that we talked about that we already said that we were going to do?"
Yeah.
And then that's on top of the other team up book that we're for sure doing.
Yeah. Well, I just turned.
Do we have any pencils from that yet?
We got character designs.
Just design, designs and that kind of thing.
And Roland hasn't approved the script yet, but the script is done.
No actual, yeah.
The script is done. It's just not Roland done yet.
Yeah, I'm hoping to. I was doing a bunch of reading tonight, so I'm hoping to finish it tonight. That's my plan.
Excellent.
My plan.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So
Ryan maybe says, "Happy New Year, Silverline crew."
Happy New Year,
Ryan. Thank you for hanging out with us. Now he says, "Let's get you all on," and I quote this year. For those of you who may not know, Ryan is the host of and I quote podcast, and a bunch of us have been on it. So those of you who haven't been on it need to make sure you get on it. So Ryan's always a fun show. Matter of fact, I think he's talking to Tim TK not this Friday, but maybe next Friday, I think, in support of the Wolf Hunter campaign.
That's right, because Tim's got something coming up.
Yep, going to be launching Tuesday. Yeah, maybe it is this Friday. I don't know. Anyway, it's coming up. So
who doesn't read the books, Roland?
I do. No. That's. I read the books. This is the interview that Tim is doing.
All right.
I'm not sure when Tim is doing the interview. The campaign starts Tuesday. It will start. They're going to have a launch party. I'll talk about that today.
Can you put it on the Discord?
Yes, I can. I think it's on
schedules like that would be good for.
Yes. Ryan says, "Make mine Silverline" in my Roland voice. And then he says, "This Friday, Tim TK will be on Freewheeling Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern Time." So
there we go.
Yeah, you guys make sure you tune in Yep, for Ryan's shows. So thank you for hanging out with us, Ryan. Happy New Year to you. May 2025 be a great one for, and I quote, in your streams. Did I cut you off, Tommy? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, but I do have something I wanted to add.
Okay.
I just remembered about it. So last week, so this is kind of a come back around kind of thing. You remember last week we did the stuff about the trades that everybody wanted, and then finally one that I forgot that I had ordered it, and now that it's here, I'm going to mark it as probably my number one trade, not because of the art and stuff. So I've got a picture. I've got it in my hands here if you want to see it.
Oh yeah.
When I was a little youngster, can y'all see it?
Yeah. The Empire Strikes Back.
So this book came out in I was in Port Sulphur, Louisiana, and the store that I would go in to just get candy and stuff like that, they had a little a section that had Mad magazines and all that kind of stuff. That's where I collected Mad at that time. My buddy collected the correct thing, but anyway, I show it, and of course this was after Star Wars came out, and so this is The Empire Strikes Back. This came out. Apparently, the store did not know that they weren't supposed to put this out.
Oh no!
And they put it out on the shelf before the movie came out. And I see it, and I'm like, "Oh my God, what is that?" And I picked it up, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, "This is the movie that's supposed to come out in 2 or 3 weeks or whatever." and I'm like, and I'm reading it, and it's like it's adapted from the screenplay and blah blah blah, based off of and this is the Marvel thing that they had done apparently before the movie came out, and so they could have it ready for when the movie did come out. And I remember looking through it, and this is where I got spoiled on the Darth Vader being Luke's dad, because I was flipping through it, and I was standing there reading it and looking through it, and then it got to I'll find the page towards the back end. Or maybe did I spoil
Wait a minute. Yes. What? Darth Vader's what? Is that? No.
It all makes sense now.
Next you're going to be telling me he kissed his sister.
Don't we all?
Ryan says, "Happy 45th anniversary, Empire Strikes Back."
Is that the Al Williamson one with Carlos Garzon?
Archie Goodwin, Alan Williamson.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. No, I mean it's beautiful. I'm glad but I was flipping through it, and then I got to.
Now, is that still your original copy, or is this a...
No. This is a first print. I bought it sometime before Christmas, and then finally it just came in while I was in Mississippi, and I didn't realize. So last week when we were talking about stuff, and I told y'all I didn't have anything ready. This was in my mailbox, so I did actually. If I would have gone to check my mail, it's got. I'm trying to get to the page. I remember flipping through it, and and this page is, in my head. There it is. So flip back to me. This is. Oh man, that's stupid.
Hold it still, and it'll catch up.
There you go. You see right here?
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm like, oh no! What?
Comic Books Ruined by Movies by Thomas Formanti.
I know.
Yeah.
No, Luke.
Ryan
I am
says,
your father.
Scruffy-looking Nerf herder.
Yeah. So that was really cool. So this is so officially this would have been probably. I guess, I mean, it is a trade paperback, right? I don't think they thought of it as a trade paperback. They thought of it more of the comic in novel form, because it's printed like a regular paperback, like a novel paperback. But I mean, it's not a manga size thing. It's like a paper. So have y'all seen these before? Yeah, it's like a regular
paperback. Yeah.
Yeah. So was it like $1.95 or $2.25 or something like that?
It was. I saw the price on here somewhere. $2.50.
Yeah. Oh man, I would have bought the hell out of that.
I got a bunch of old Marvel reprints that way. That's how I read Spider-Man 1 through 14 in 2 different mass market paperback.
Well, that's how I first discovered the Fantastic Four. Was in an old '60s paperback, where the one where Human Torch burns off Submariner's beard.
Yeah. Oh man, I love that scene.
And then it's without scorching him or whatever. And then Submariner says, then Submariner says, "I came here to steal your wife, Reed Richards," and then off they go.
But it smells like an old comic.
Yeah.
Meaning it smells like mold. But it's in the spine is this. I don't think it's ever been cracked open at all. The spine is perfect. It's got a little wear around the edges just because it was bounced around. But I don't think anybody's looked at it. I think my eyes were probably the first people that actually cracked it open.
Are you taking bids for it now?
No. This is my first trade paperback.
Did you get that off of eBay?
No, I just did a general search and I found it somewhere. I can't even remember the site. I mean, it wasn't super. It was only like $30 or whatever. But
oh yeah,
it's
good one.
Yeah, no, that's a good find. Let's see, because I went on eBay and a lot of people had them for like $100 a piece, and this one place just was getting rid of stuff, and it was $30 in really great condition. It's y'all would be impressed how nice it is.
You gotta wait till a Star Wars fan dies, and then their children sell off the estate really quick because they just want to get rid of it.
Yeah, and they don't know what they have, right?
That's right. Yeah. I just want this out of my parents' garage.
Yeah. Logan Kane McCullough, Happy New Year, Logan. Thanks for hanging out with us. He says, I still get high on newsprint.
Me too.
If they made some kind of vape flavor that was newsprint, I would be all over that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. I have been slowly trying to add my personal collection onto CLZ. And as I'm doing it, there's some of them, the bags, when they get really old, they kind of stick together.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I've been very limited because I just don't have the kind of time to do all of them. Right. I'm like, ooh, I really like these 30 issues of the Avengers. I need to take all these out and put them in new bags.
Right.
And as soon as you take them out, you go, oh man.
Pass one of those over here, Roland.
Right.
Yeah, I gotta have the hit of that.
Logan says, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
That app works really good with the barcode thing works. If you have any with barcodes on it, because it will automatically log it in for you and you don't have to go search for it.
Did you know that you can scan a cover now?
Oh, do you? And I haven't.
Yes.
I'll try that.
So
it recognizes cover.
It does.
Cover.
When Brittany was here, we went through, I guess, about 3 boxes. She helped me. And there were some that pop up, and I'm like, I'm not sure what the title of this is, right? So she scanned it, and it would say, it would pop up, it's this one, or this one, right? Like I had a Marvel Milestone edition of Avengers number 4. Avengers number 4 is the original comic is probably one I will never ever get out of my price range these days, right? So I have the Milestone edition in the number slot where number 4 would go in my collection, right? But when it came up, I'm like, I don't know what this is called. This is not the Avengers number 4, right? So she scanned it, and boom, right there it was. Boop, added to collection.
That's cool.
Easy, yeah.
Nice.
And why do we hate AI? Because it seems
because it steals your rights.
Yeah.
It makes it so Roland can scan in his comics without having to go.
Yeah, but
I'll tell you the reason I hate it.
Yeah.
Because it's not a person, and people who hire people who make art think it does.
Yeah.
I
was just being funny. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know, but I get angry now because I was like, it's a good tool, but no, it's not.
No,
So Roberta, we do have. I have to make sure that you're going to be here because Tom and I know we talked about. I know it's at least Tom and I don't remember how many after one of our shows. We've got an AI show that we're going to talk about. So you need to be here for that one.
I'd like that.
Yeah.
Pops, if you're still listening, you're okay. Don't fret too much.
I mean, actually, we had a big AI discussion at Renee's parents' house.
Oh, really?
Do what?
You did?
Oh, he did what?
What'd you say, Roberta?
Oh, I said, is Pops AI? I didn't know.
No, Pops.
No, he's
anti-AI.
He's deadly. Yeah, he's
because he told us because we did this is I guess about 2 years ago we did something just talking about AI. Oh, you remember, Roberta? You took the art programs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Pops contacted me, and Pops, I'm not telling any dirty secrets. He's like, look, I don't want you guys coming out in support of AI. And I said, Pops, I assure you, we're not going to come out and support comic books done by AI.
Because what I think,
in comics written by AI, that's okay.
Hey, wait a minute.
No. I think Tom and I have something to say about
that either.
what I think is that I'm in favor of AI for certain jobs, but I'm not in favor of AI if it's taking jobs.
Yeah.
Let's hold.
And we're gonna get in
hold
trouble.
on. No. Let's just save this one. That's a whole other show.
I'm just going to say that about AI. People don't realize AI is in everything
everywhere.
that you do. Do you ever pull your phone up and then it tells you what the next thing to say? That's
Hold
AI. People don't
Hold
realize.
that thought, Tommy.
Okay,
Hold
all
it.
right.
All right.
Right.
Tom,
What?
what's 2025 got in store for Baby New Year, Mr. Mason?
Are we talking comics, or are we going off on other things? What are we?
Anything. Comics
All right, so
but anything.
So I got the secret comic that I'm doing with Silverline with me and Henry Martinez. We got that. I got the thing that I'm doing with Tommy. So there's that. I'm the head writer of a YouTube show that debuts in July, I think.
Sweet. Can you talk about that?
Nice.
What
Let us know.
Not yet. I
Okay.
got the first script was approved before Christmas, and I turned in the second script tomorrow and the third script on Tuesday. So I got that.
Is it like a live action TV show, or is it?
Oh no,
comedy
no one hires me for live action, but I get it's cartoons.
Cartoons. Yeah, cool.
And then I got a hardcover book coming out. I haven't written it yet. It's due in June, so it's probably not coming out till the fall or till maybe next June.
Is this the Malibu book?
No. This is a different book. It's from an old, it's through an old friend of mine from an old company I used to work for. So I got to. What kind
of book is it?
Oh, I don't think I can say that.
Okay, all right.
It's
Another non-disclosures.
It's non-fiction.
Okay.
So I have that I have to finish writing, and then I'm going to what am I going to do? Oh, I'm going to Annecy, France, for the big animation producers market in June.
That's exciting.
Cool.
So I'll be broadcast. So I'll be on the show at like 3 a.m.
Now, are you going to get to see our buddy Chadwick while you're in France? Will he come up from Spain to see you?
Or I'll stop by him because I want to see because I missed him when he was in California because he just left again. He's back in Spain, I think, as of this morning. But yeah, I would love to see. I would love to see him and have him show me around Spain because I don't speak any other language.
You don't speak any Spain?
I don't speak.
You speak any Spanglish?
I don't speak anything. I barely speak English.
Yeah, that's me.
And what I've discovered is my vocabulary is basically pop culture references, movie quotes, and slang, which does not translate into any kind of overseas language that anybody would understand. So the
yeah.
When I was somebody and I had then I went to a convention in Grenoble, France, many years ago, the convention supplied me with a translator, a person who would just stand next to me and they would be my person for the day. And I would like to be in a position where I had that again.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
Because when it's happening, you think, well, this is just normal. Everybody gets their translator when they go around. It's like you realize, oh no, this is.
Wow. No, so why were you there then to get the translator?
There was a comic book festival in Grenoble, and we were there to sell off European rights to some of the Malibu comics.
Oh, well, this was a while back then.
Oh yeah, so it was a total business thing, and because we were there to sell or buy, the convention was supplying translators to everybody who had a booth.
So I remember this. So this must have been before. Well, I would say I'm guessing early 90s, maybe.
Yeah, it's like 92, I think 91, 92.
Because if I recall, when we worked on Demon's Tales, I think I had just. I don't remember if I'd gotten Rocket. I'd have to go back and look. But I remember Rocket Ranger was written in the same way, and you had me write the script for. It was never published, but Gladiator.
Yes.
In 8-page increments,
Yes.
And I asked you why. You said because we're trying to sell the rights to these stories in Europe, and they like 8-page installments. So,
Right.
And you had here's the format for page 1. We have a big panel and 2 smaller panels with the title and logo and everything up. And so I wrote them that way.
Yeah, because the thing that was cool about that is because at the time, again, this is not a market that exists anymore, but at the time they published a number of magazines that were like 64-page magazines or whatever, and they would have 8 different comics of 8 pages in length, so they would all continue from issue to issue. And so if you had a better chance of selling if you were creating into their format, because the American market doesn't care. They're just chapters, and but it was easy to just break it up that way.
Yeah. I remember though that being a specific request.
Yeah.
From you guys.
Why didn't we publish it? What happened? Did we stop it?
Yeah.
But you still have the script though, don't you?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Yeah.
And you know a publisher, right?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. Just saying.
I've actually even talked to an artist.
Okay.
So,
just saying.
Yep. No. I
never throw anything away.
Trust me, it's out there.
Okay.
Okay, Tommy, we'll be here. David A. Scudera says, hold on, let me get to this one first. He says, Tom Mason, me gusto smoky e el bandito. That was I assume I read that right. Lyel bandito.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll let you in the country now.
Yeah, right. He also asked a good question. He says, "What's everyone's convention schedule for the first quarter of 2025?"
Yeah, because you guys do a ton of like local,
yes,
Southern and East Coast shows that I don't do.
I'm pulling up my my calendar right now. So I've got nothing in January. Although I know that yesterday. John Crowther, writer of Teen Beetle, did a show in the Land. In 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, me and Tommy and Jose will all be doing ShadowCon, which is in
Orlando.
That is on February the 1st. And I just got the invitation to, and I don't think it's even been confirmed yet. I just got the invitation to Brick City Con in local Ocala here, which is on April the 26th. Of course, there's that's it for me for the first quarter. But also, I know that we've got Daytona, which is in September. So that's not the first quarter, but we always got to plug Daytona.
That's right. And also, it's the Speedway.
It is. That's right.
In the off season, they'll let you race your car there.
Wouldn't it be cool to actually have the show there at the Speedway? You come in and watch some cars, and people come out and.
It would be great if they had like a little publisher's lounge at the Speedway.
I wish they'd do that.
Yeah. So who's next? Mike, where are you going to be?
I don't have anything yet. Usually things don't thaw out here until about March, and so I'm looking at some dates right now.
Okay, cool, very cool. And you should, because you moved a little north of where you were, so you should. There is a I know some folks who run the I think it's called Imaginarium.
Yeah, that's in Louisville. That's in Louisville in the summertime. I've thought about trying to hit those up. Yeah. Okay,
if you need an introduction, just let me know. I know the guy who runs it fairly well. Tommy and I got invited to go up there a couple years back, but we couldn't make it. I don't remember.
I hear good things about it. I have a friend that goes there every year, so he speaks highly of it.
Yeah. Roberta, what about you? You got any shows planned?
I don't yet. I'll let you know.
We got to get you going to some shows, Roberta.
Maybe.
We do.
Maybe.
She's too busy.
How do you like that? How do you like that commitment from her? Maybe.
Yeah. Not sure, but I'll let you know.
All right.
Things turn around a little bit. Yes.
Tom, what about
Yeah,
you?
you and I have one in a couple of weeks.
I've already mentioned it while you were away.
Oh, okay. And then I'm doing Pensacon on the 12th of February.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
February 12th, so
The month.
Pensacon. And for those who aren't sure what that means, that's Pensacola, Florida.
Pensacola.
Cool.
Which is the favorite of the colas. There's RC, there's Pepsi, and then there's Pensacon.
That's right.
Is root beer a cola?
Of course it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's got fuzzy stuff in it, so I guess it would have to be. Or fizzy stuff, not fuzzy. That would be kind of gross.
Fuzzy, yeah. Fuzzy stuff, your dog got to it.
I know. Or you let it sit out too long and it got fuzzy.
Tom, what about you? What about
I go to WonderCon, which I think is in March this year.
Okay.
Then I go to my next one after that is Annecy in June, and then San Diego in July.
Wow.
So what shows are up north that you go to in Candania?
Well, there's a local show about 3 hours south of me in Victoria, BC, which I haven't been yet because it just never seems to work out. It's like a one-day show on a Saturday. There's a Vancouver show that pops up that I would love to go over, but it's like $150 round trip on the ferry boat to get over to the mainland, and that's a lot. That's a big ask.
Yeah.
And then there's a huge. I mean, if I want to splurge a bit, there's a huge show in Calgary that's like 100,000 people. There's another show in Toronto. There are two shows in Toronto. There's TCAF, and then there's the Toronto Comic Con that are fairly big. I think TCAF is mostly for independents, and the Toronto is one of those comic books, movies, TV shows, and celebrity shows. But it draws a huge crowd too. The Calgary one gets a big crowd though.
That's nice.
I'd go there, except Calgary is it's like a cowboy town.
It's a cowboy.
Calgary Stampede.
You got to go get your
Cowboys
sidearm.
Yeah. So
are any of those in the French-speaking part of Canada?
No, the French. Well, Canada's dual, so any part could be French speaking, but the real French speakers are in Quebec.
That's in the east, right?
The East Coast, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And they wouldn't like me at all. because like I said, I don't speak any other language except American slang.
It's the comic book.
Right. I mean, I am a creator. And then they would just cancel me and shoot me, so I'm out.
Yeah, that reminds me of something really funny. Who the Hank and I saw. I'll talk about it later. I lost track.
I speak French like Black Jack Shellac in the Bugs Bunny cartoons.
Let's see here. Well, I guess that's it for the convention appearances. That was a good question, David. Thanks for asking that.
That was. Does David have any more good questions?
Yeah, we've got a few minutes. Where's my time? We've got a few minutes left, so ask us another good question. I'm looking forward to 2025. I'm anxious to see because this year through Diamond we're planning on releasing both Cat and Mouse and Divinity and probably Team Beetle. So
awesome.
I am excited about those, hoping that the national distribution will continue to see our books find more eyes. I would like to try to, there's those two additional distributors that are out there now, and they both told me to reach back out to them at the start of 2025.
Get on that.
I have. Yep, I have. And so I'm hoping that 2025 will see us get a couple of new distributors as well. One of them, of course, is a Canadian distributor.
Well, the strength of the Canadian dollar is poor, but good luck with that.
Yeah. Well, someone told me a long time ago that comics and entertainment in general tend to do better when the economy isn't so good. So
this is true. As I'll name drop now, is that when I had lunch one time with Paul Levitz many years ago, and he actually had a chart of comic book sales and divided up by when the economy or when things were good and bad. And he said it's true because comic books at that time were the cheapest form of entertainment.
Yeah.
Compared to, TV obviously was free, but movies and books and other sources of entertainment were more expensive than comics. And so people who had a budget conscious mind would gravitate back towards comics.
Yeah.
So sales would go up during downtimes.
By the way, you're the one that told me that. Several years ago.
Roland, I've now told you a second time, so maybe you should learn it. Don't make me say it a third time. We'll have to get tested for dementia.
But it's so much more interesting coming from you.
Don't make it come down here.
Oh, I doubt that.
Because you didn't tell me the Levitt story the first time.
Oh, okay. I told you like I made it up.
He just made that part up right then. So
not that you made it up, but you told me like this is an established fact that you should know, Roland.
That's right. Well, that's right.
Now you know
what's wrong with you, Roland? You should know this.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know anything myself. I get it from somebody else, so I don't intuit any of this stuff.
You think Tom's making this stuff up? He's getting it from he's got resources.
Listen, I'm not a big thinker. People just tell me what they know, and I just remember it.
I worked with Tom long enough to know he makes a lot of stuff up.
No.
Uh-oh.
Revealed.
This is a good question here. David asked, does Silverline have any announcements for big releases this year? Any trades or talent announcements or new titles that you can share? Well, nothing more than was kind of already hinted at here through these guys. Trades, we'll probably end up doing a trade for Trumps and for Kalis Volume 1. And
Cat and Mouse, right?
For Twilight Grim, because those were the ones that saw the series that saw print last year, so we'll probably do the trades this year. Right. Cat and Mouse probably won't have the trade this year. We want to make sure we finish the series before it'll be released in.
I thought it was done. Isn't it done? 4th issue came out.
Yeah. I'm talking about Diamond. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Any talent announcement? No, not any talent announcements that I can think of off the top of my head. I will say, and I can't remember if I showed any artwork for it or not. I don't have any of it handy. A guy by the name of Mexican artist by the name of Rick Plata has done the Rejects issue number 2, and it is fantastic.
He's great. I know of him.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! If you are a fan of Mad Magazine and that kind of style art, he has done the 2nd issue of the Rejects, which we're currently trying to figure out how to get inked. That just is just fantastic. It is gorgeous. It's gonna blow your socks off when you see it. A bit of a story spoiler here. It features Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. Hopefully that will be one that we could crowdfund.
So all of Minnesota will be mad at you now.
They might, yeah. We treat him with respect.
All right.
Let's see. There's that one. Talent. I'm trying to think of who else we've been talking to. That's all I can think of, David. But make sure to answer that question, David, make sure you're subscribed to the Silverline newsletter. We often sneak in news there before we do anywhere else, mostly because I use it to put stuff in, and then I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, we have this here. So make sure you're subscribed to that. It's free, and it comes out about every 2 weeks. Sometimes it's every 3rd week because I forget.
If only there was software that could remind you.
So forget might not be the exact correct word to use, because I get the reminder on my calendar that says newsletter, but my clock says, yeah, it ain't happening. So it takes me a week to put it all together.
Right.
Fortunately, though, a lot of times I reach out to some of the other writers on Team Silverline, and they write some cool stuff for the newsletter as well that you won't find anywhere else. So that's all I can think of for anything new. I think this year's going to be trying to spend, other than the stuff you've heard us talk about already, finish a couple of the series that we've got. Just finished the team deal, so that's exciting. We'll probably finish Beyond the Stars this year, I think.
Probably, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And not sure if we'll actually be able to finish the rejects, but we should finish Bear this year as well. And we have a good shot at finishing, I think, Wolf Hunter this year.
There you go.
So yeah, I think 2025 is going to be an exciting year. I think we've got all kind of both through national distribution through Diamond and through our crowdfunding efforts. I think there's going to be there won't be a shortage of stuff for you to read. Let's just put it that way.
And we'll be recruiting at all the new colleges to get to line up a new team for the fall.
That's right. Hey, listen, I try not to speak too loudly about where I recruit artists. So
don't give away the secrets.
Yeah, there's a big there's a lot of people looking for those. So, yeah.
Obviously, they've never heard of the internet.
That's true. Well, I always tell people when they ask me, where do you find your artists? I usually say the internet, and I said, hey, look, there's this place called oh crap, I can't think of the website now.
DeviantArt.
DeviantArt, yeah, thank you. DeviantArt. I said, just go look on DeviantArt. You can find all of them, all kinds of them there.
Is that still a thing, or are you lying to them?
Am I supposed to keep up there?
It's still there.
I never did.
Uh-huh.
I did in the 90s.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else have anything else? Roberta, I still don't see you on my screen, but I see that you're there on Facebook still. So
Yeah.
that's just the weirdest thing.
Coloring, here's my pen.
Yep. So does anybody have any other as we wrap up the screen? I'm looking at a screen. This stream, anybody have anything that you want to add as we enter 2025?
Well, if you're looking for big announcements, we tease some of that stuff and some of the art on our Blue Sky account.
Yeah.
So you could sign up for that and follow that. We also link to work from the various friends of Silverline sometimes. So it's a good little clubhouse we're building.
Yes. Do make sure you like and follow, subscribe, and all that kind of stuff. And more importantly, share with the folks you know who would love stuff.
Or the folks you don't like.
There you go.
We don't care.
Yeah.
On Tuesday, that Silverline show on Tuesday, are going to have a Wolf Hunter #2 launch party. Tim TK's Wolf Hunter is available for pre-order. Will be available for pre-order. It will be crowdfunding. I don't know that I like the pre-order thing, but I guess that's kind of what it is, right? We'll talk about writing. They will talk about writing spy stories set in historical backgrounds. That's on Tuesday. On Wednesday, the Wednesday Whammers have a question and opinion round robin part 4. It's time for our Wednesday Wham biannual crazy round robin question and answer game where we give opinions on everything from comics to cakes, and as some of us remember, to hot dogs.
Hot dog is a sandwich.
That's
saying.
Next week, we will be back, and we're going to talk about time passages. Time passes differently in comics and in fiction. Why isn't Superman 100 years old? Or why is it Peter Parker 70? Why is Demon in The Last Cat and Mouse not 60 years old? Does this passage of time affect the popularity of characters and titles? We will discuss this and more on... Oh, I forgot to rewrite that. Because this is the last stream. We'll discuss this and more next week. So that is what we've got planned for next week.
It'll be brought to you by Geritol and Doan's Pills.
That's right. All right. Well, until next week, remember to wait a minute. I got to get my buttons ready.
That sounded dirty.
That's
right.
Nasty.
All right. Oh, wait, hold on. Roberta, thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome.
Yep. You guys remember to make mine.
Good
Good night, everyone.
night, everyone.
Hi, I'm Greg Horn. Make mine Silverline.